Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. You didn't drink too much yesterday, and I hope the markets didn't completely obliterate you. Today, I am going to be talking about Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR. Let me drink some coffee, especially for that troll making comments about me drinking coffee. I love it. I love it. In today's video, I actually want to show you two videos. So this video is going to be very media intensive. There's a person called Christine Wormuth. And Christine Wormuth happens to be the U.S. Army Secretary. So she goes on CNBC earlier this week. I want to play you this clip. And she does not mention Palantir specifically. She does not mention Palantir. So I got to make this disclaimer. But if I play you this clip, clear your mind and tell me if Palantir isn't 100%, without a doubt, the company that they're talking about. Like, just listen to this interview. And after this, I want to show you our Titan prototype that we're building in co-unisons in partnership with Anduril. And this freaking thing looks massive. It's amazing. I think it's the first video of its kind, showing you a little more in depth of the partnership. Now, this is for the Titan prototype, and this is a multi-billion-dollar project for Palantir and Anduril and whoever else is involved in this project. So let's play the first video. This came out 3 days ago.
To be able to see the battlefield better and longer than our enemy, we've got to be able to mass really powerful combat forces at the time and place of our choosing. We've got to be able to protect ourselves. We've got to be able to share data rapidly. These are all challenging things to do on the future battlefield, which is going to be complicated. So to do that, we are developing a whole range of new capabilities, and we're really transforming our Army organizations.
Of course, one of those capabilities, and I bring this up because certainly investors and Wall Street analysts have been focused on it, has been the Pltr competition. Any update on when we might see a selection on that?
That, Morgan, is obviously going to be a big, important decision. So we're going to take our time with that to make sure that we get it right. I think it'll be a little bit more time.
Okay. And then in terms of other priorities,
Army Secretary on contracts and evolving technology. Bear with me. She's going to literally start talking about software and how software is in the Army now and how the entire battlefield is changing with software. Mind you, Palantir, level 6 clearance, Microsoft, Amazon, Palantir. That's it. Check it out.
is the role that some of these new technologies, things like software, are playing.
Software is really important in a lot of these new systems. One of the things that the Army has struggled with in the past is we got locked into one vendor's software system, basically. So now we're trying to design our systems to have open architectures so that we...
All right. I'm calling this right now. Two things. Number one, she says our vendors have to have open architecture. That is literally Palantir. When you're using Palantir, it can integrate with any other systems that you want to use. That's the difference, okay? It almost becomes like an operating system of who else you want to work with. That's the whole point of Palantir Apollo, for example, where it's cloud agnostic. So that's one thing that I want to bring your attention. Second, and I know the screen is a little dark, this is so disrespectful. When CNBC puts up, they do this for crypto all the time. Crypto, you always can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin. They put up shit on the screens. So I'm not going to call any of these companies shit. But one day, you're going to see Palantir up there. Okay? One day, you're going to see Palantir on the top right-hand corner. Anytime somebody is going to be talking about military, defense, so on and so forth. We got the level 6 clearance, and next we're going to be getting official software prime clearance. Official software prime recognition for the United States Military Department of Defense. Check it out.
Aren't wedded to just one vendor, and we can, swap in and out new software more easily. But a lot of what's going to make our new systems more powerful is the software inside of the hardware.
When we look at Ukraine,
the software inside of the hardware. I mean, really, what is the Titan program about? And it's basically Palantir and Anduril against Raytheon, and I'm sure Raytheon has a partner. I just don't know who they are. I'm not really paying attention. They're both building prototypes. But the Anduril and Palantir prototype is on full display. Very, very interesting. But you can understand where Palantir comes into play literally in this entire speech.
And the last time you and I sat down together, Russia had just invaded Ukraine maybe a couple of weeks prior. What are the lessons learned so far? How is it affecting the way the Army is thinking about modern warfare and the purchases you might need to make?
I think a lot of what we've seen in Ukraine really validates the ideas that are in our new doctrine. In particular, we've got to, I think what we see in Ukraine emphasizes the need for combined arms warfare, not just using armor and tanks, but combining it with infantry, combining it with attack aviation. We've got to be able to do all of that at once. Another lesson I think from Ukraine is the real pronounced threat of drones and other kinds of aerial unmanned systems. So that's something we're really working on, is developing better counter UAS capabilities.
We've seen certain missile lines, the production there begin to re-ramp. There were reports over the weekend from the Journal that the howitzer.
Okay, so that first part is enough for you guys to watch, and it's basically talking about the need for software, for integration of software. Software is going to bring the Army forward, and to be able to coordinate an entire attack, not just from one standpoint, but from the entire military standpoint. And that's essentially what's happening right now with Palantir and Ukraine. You saw Dr. Alex Karp. He was the one and only, I think even till this day, CEO who went in person, shook Vladimir's hand, sat down at the table, started talking, while all the other CEOs had Zoom calls. I posted a video before, like there's hundreds of CEOs on a Zoom call. Meanwhile, Dr. Alex Karp, a week before, goes to actual Ukraine to shake hands. And this is one of the things that Dr. Alex Karp was talking about, how, the entire warfare changed right now, David and Goliath story, so on and so forth. Whatever. You can get the picture from that interview right there. I can't say it is 100% with certainty that it's Palantir, but I would say that it's 99%, right? Like, who else? There's nobody else that can do what Palantir is doing in terms of the size, scalability, and if there was somebody else, wouldn't they be getting level 6 clearance, not Palantir getting level 6 clearance? So it's a very distinctly small club that can do what Palantir does. And for Amazon or for Microsoft or for these other companies to become, about it, software companies, it's not going to happen. By the time they catch up 5 years later, 10 years later, they're going to be on a whole nother level. Just like Microsoft Bing is whack and it can't catch up to Google search, right? Things like that. So that's the first video that I want to show you. It's very, very, very important. The second video that I want to show you is the full display of exactly what they're talking about right here. The Titan program prototype that's built by Anduril and Palantir. And of course, in my other videos, I made the connections between Anduril and Palantir. So everything I'm doing right now is thinking outside the box. This is all alpha information. I hope you guys enjoy that. Before I go any further, please give me the likes, the shares, and subscribe. Also, I do have a link down below to Webull. They're giving out 12 free stocks. If you want to get stocks and you need to trade on a platform, might as well get my link. You get something and I get something, but only if you actually need a platform. With that said, let me go on to the second part of this video. Guys, this is officially from Anduril Industries. You guys can subscribe to them. And I'm going to click on this one. It's literally a 1.5-minute video. I'm not going to interrupt it. Let's watch the entire demo. And yeah, let's rock and roll. All right, two things about that video. First, the guy with the cap in the beginning, that's literally how my boy Invictus looks like. Shout out to my boy Invictus. Shout out to the entire wolf pack. That's first of all. He did a couple of duties in the military. Shout out to him, U.S. Army. Okay. Second of all, that truck looks badass. It looks freaking badass. It looks cool. And I like the video that they made. Third, if you missed it, I'm going to link it at the end of this video. My last video about Palantir, or 2 videos or 3 videos ago, was Palantir Alpha Information, where an NVIDIA Department of Defense project manager made a comment about the Titan prototype, and he says that this is just amazing. Palantir is making a splash in the industry. They're here to stay. I did an entire video. I'm going to link it at the end of this. Okay. Palantir down like 6.5%, 7% at the end of last week, just on Friday. Gave back all the gains that we made. Palantir trading like $7.50, something like that. All-time low, like $6.50 or $6.80, so something like that. So it was trading probably like within 10% of all-time lows. Really, really bad. Nothing good. However, it is following the rest of the industry. Now, the question is Palantir as a company right now at $7.50 worth more than it was a year ago? It's a very, very simple question. Did we accomplish more in terms of contracts? Did we accomplish more in terms of growth? Did we accomplish more in terms of getting new clients? Did we accomplish more in growth in terms of interviews, in terms of partnerships, in terms of so on, so forth, clearances, getting closer to level 6 prime, getting closer to the Titan, achieving level 6 clearance? And obviously the answer is yes. It's a leading question. So what's the problem here? I'm going to tell you guys again. Everyone's going to say, oh, Palantir has bad numbers. Listen to me. There's going to be a shit ton of companies that are going to drop right now. When this deep recession / depression is happening, which I believe we will have, I think we're going to have a massive, catastrophic market collapse, which is going to lead to a lot of defaults and the economy dropping. But that's not this type of video. When that's going to happen, you're going to see that Palantir has over $2 billion in cash, a $950 million credit line, no debt, and billions, would it be, in contract obligations that they're still going to be bringing in money. We're talking about multiple billions between the money they have, no debt, lines of credit, and contracts that they have coming in. We're talking about like $4 or $5 billion over there. It's a massive number. The valuation for Palantir, 15, 16 billion at this point. It's comical. It is literally freaking comical. Now people are going to say, hey, Palantir is not profitable. And to this, I'm going to say, yes, on paper, Palantir is not profitable. They issue a shit ton of stock-based compensation. If they stop doing that, then yes, they bring in more money than they spend. However, they do got to do stock-based compensation, which means at the end of the day, they are not profitable. So I can't argue that. But they're close to profitability, and it will happen. It will happen in the next 2-3 years. I honestly think that all of these government contracts that are going to come in, everyone's focused on this commercial, and commercial is where the money's at. I'm not arguing that, but commercial is going to come out of military. And I think that there's going to be a shit ton of extra military spending right now, and Palantir is going to keep growing. So some people are saying, hey, Adam, Palantir's been in business for so long, why didn't they grow? And to this, I'm going to say they did grow. They were a nothing company, right? I think they started a valuation like 900 million, so something like that, like private valuation a long time ago. And they grew to this behemoth of a company. They've been doing this for nearly 2 decades. They're just new to the stock market. They're just new to the public, but they've been doing this for quite a while. And I think this is what Alex Karp was talking about. There's ups and there's downs. Sometimes we're not going to be making money. Sometimes we're going to be making double the amount of money. But at the end of the day, over a long period of time, we're going to get a 30% CAGR, compound annual growth rate. And I think it's very important for people not to overestimate, overshoot this number, because that's literally the number he's saying. For the exact reasons of our last few quarters. Some quarters we flat, some quarters we're up, and some quarters we're absolute shit. And then you have people that are commenting and like, oh, Palantir sucks. No, you guys are getting this crazy misconception about what Palantir is doing. Look, I hope these 2 videos try to shine a light about what's happening with Palantir. Palantir is an absolute beast. And I'm not scared or embarrassed to say I support Palantir. I love the company. I honestly think this company is going to make me a shit ton of money. Not like a small amount, like a shit ton of money. And there's an entire new group of people that are buying Palantir at $8, $7, $9, $10, right? I was originally buying Palantir like 20s, and I was able to bring down my my average right now is like 18. I don't know, something like that. Maybe it's 17, maybe it's like 18.50. It's something like that. I keep dollar cost averaging when I get a chance. But I think people are going to be super rewarded, and I think Palantir is a $1 trillion company with a T. Palantir with a T, $1 trillion company. But at the very, very least, it's easily a $100 billion company. Easy. That's not even taking into account commercial industry, right? Guys, thank you so much. Please give me the likes. Please give me the shares. Please give me the subscribe. And if anybody ever trolls you, all you got to do is say level 6, IL6, impact level mother effing 6. 666. Have a great day.